Yeah, there is something better than MCPs, and it's been around for 50 years. But most people that are building AI agents right now are completely sleeping on it. That's what this video is about. MCP versus CLI. What they actually are, why everyone's defaulted to MCP, and why I keep going back to the CLI for almost everything that I'm building. I'm Nolan Grout. I use AI agents every single day for my business and for my clients' businesses. They're bringing in real money for me, and I'm able to pay all my bills through this. Now, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this so you know that I'm not some guru trying to tell you how to make a $10 million business by taking a chat GPT prompt, copying it here, and pasting it into Manus. No, that's not what this is. Let's get into the real value. Let's go. So what are these two things actually? Let's do a quick setup before we get into anything else, because the analogy I keep seeing online for MCP is it's the USB-C for AI agents. Sure, but what does that actually even mean for how it works? Let me give you something that actually lands. MCP is like giving your AI agent an app on a phone. The app, it has specific instructions built in. You can place a food order, buy a gift card, maybe check a card balance, schedule a pickup or delivery. The buttons are right there. It's clean, it's organized, but every time the agent opens the app, it loads everything. All the menus, all the options, all the features, even the ones the agent will never use. He just needed to check maybe on one food order status, but the app instead loads the entire restaurant database, the ads, specials, everything. And if the agent needs to do something the app doesn't have a button for, it just can't, right? He's stuck working within whatever the app was designed to do. You need a different app for that if you want to do the different thing, and then another app for the next thing. Now you're juggling 12 different apps, and each one is loading its menus every single time. The CLI, though, is like giving your agent a phone with no app, but it has a direct line to whoever or whatever it needs to talk to. If it needs to order food, it calls the restaurant. It needs a gift card, it calls the store. It needs to do both at once and have one confirm the other before it goes through. It can do that because, well, it's just making calls, right? It's not wasting its time or waiting on an app's specific features and buttons to allow it. And here's the other thing, right? It's been making these phone calls its whole life. It knows how this stuff works in and out. There's no learning curve, no loading screen, no feature he doesn't need taking up space. Picks up the phone and gets it done. That's the actual difference. Now, let's talk about why that matters. So why did MCP blow up? The pitch is clean. Instead of every developer building their own custom connections to every single tool, you have one standardized protocol. Notion built one, GitHub built one, Google built one, Canva. The idea was build once, plug it in anywhere. And for someone who's not deep into code, suddenly being able to connect your AI agent to whatever software you're using, it just feels super accessible. I get the hype. That's a real problem that it's solving. But here's what ends up happening in practice, especially once you get deeper with it. So remember how I said MCP loads everything before the agent does anything? That's not just an analogy. That's literally what's happening technically. One popular GitHub MCP server, it puts over 44,000 tokens into the agent's context just on load before a single task gets done. CLI never does that. Now, I want to stress this point I really want to stress this point, okay? These MCP servers, especially if you're using Claude Code, GLM, Anti-Gravity, Codex, whatever it is, if you have 10 MCP servers on your agent, you could be eating up a quarter or more of your context window before you even say hi. Okay, so one, in costs, you're screwing yourself. In terms of Claude usage, you're also screwing yourself. Like, there is no reason to have multiple MCP servers that are just there by default. I promise you, that's what's making your Claude dumb. If there's anything if you feel Claude's dumb, it's going to be something like that. CLI, on the other hand, doesn't do any of that. Plus, AI models, they were trained on billions of lines of terminal interactions. The documentation, code repos, developer forums. The agent, it just already knows how to use CLIs, and they're really damn good at it. You point the agent at a terminal and it figures out the right command immediately. No bloat, no setup dump. Benchmarks that are running identical tasks through CLI and MCP showed the CLI using around 1,300 tokens, while the MCP was over 45,000 tokens for the same sample query. That's over 20 times savings using the CLI. Now, that's token savings, which also transitions to money savings and energy / like power, like electricity savings. So that's the other thing. We're not only helping ourselves, we're helping like the planet by doing this. Like, yeah, not to get all hippie, but just saying. So that's the same query, 20 times or more savings. And in terms of actually finishing all of the tasks that were thrown at it, an agent using CLI completed everything, where an agent using MCP failed at 28% of the tasks. You can chain CLI tools together as well. You can pipe one input into the next output and boom, 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 stack commands, build sequences. Going back to the analogy, right? It's like being able to call the restaurant, have them confirm the order, and then they automatically loop your driver in the call with the new instructions that you gave them about, oh yeah, actually you need to deliver to the back door because the front door is connected to a different tenant or something like that, right? MCP, it doesn't have anything like that natively. With CLI, you're working with over 50 years of battle-tested tooling on one side versus MCP, where they're still trying to figure out their best practices or like the best process for managing context and stuff. Yeah, Anthropic came out with advanced tool calling back in like November sometime, but that's still not going to save you the amount of tokens that CLI will. All right, real quick, let me show you all the things that I can do with my just 2 CLIs that I added. So I have the Pocket CLI that goes with the Pocket agent, and then I have my Engine CLI, which I showed a little bit of in yesterday's video, where that's like my social media content engine. That's where that comes from. So boom, core capabilities, post management, AI content generation, manage my social accounts, autopilot engine to I can submit my idea seeds and it auto generates drafts and everything for me. Go into my analytics, auto reply to comments, tweets, brand voice to manage that, all of that, right? Social media. All right. So look, Pocket CLI, what do we have here? Well, we have some of the social media stuff in there. We also even have Spotify, but we also have all these development tools. So GitHub, GitLab, NPM, Docker, all that stuff. We have productivity like Google Calendar, Notion, Trello boards, Google Sheets, and Google Drive. It has access directly to some news APIs and everything, different utility and data stuff. Like most people are using MCPs for any of this. You find somebody else, like even I used to do it. I used to make follow-up Boston .loop MCPs, but I need that. I made this so that my ma can check her real estate CRM using the Pocket agent. Shopify and Facebook meta ads, like you can combine both of those. So now I can be like, hey, check my Shopify, see what products are killing it, check the meta ads, see what the ads are killing it. Now I'm not running Shopify and ads, so I can't show you this, but you can literally chain these together so it can check both of these different CLI commands and it can, put them all together into one thing and boom, right? And give you the answer better. Or you could even tell it, hey, go cancel the bad ads and up double the spend on the good ones, and check Shopify to make sure the inventory is capable of handling twice the amount of traffic or something like that, right? And then I said, give me some chain ideas. So it says, look, you can take an idea. So you could use Pocket Social to Reddit search for trending topics, send that to the content engine, then have the Pocket post on Twitter and Mastodon or post through my engine thing, either or. Analytics driven, engagement automation, brand voice consistency, it's having Pocket do a lot of work. But like that first one, I like that a lot. Boom. Start with the Pocket CLI to find and research a trending topic, then turn that into auto-made content. Like that's some valuable stuff right there. Normally we would make a whole N8N workflow, or back in the day, like a year ago, we were doing that. Now it's just talking to our agent, right? So it's like, this is crazy what we have here. We have the content creation plus distribution platform paired with a bunch of other integrations for unlimited potential for automation, analytics, team coordination, and scaling content operations end to end, right? So this is for marketing and content, but you can apply this to any sector of a business or of what you're doing, and I promise you CLI is going to be better than MCP. So the main reason that people say you need MCP for client work is the authentication story. MCP handles account connections and security setup in a more structured way. That's the argument. Here's how it actually works though. Say I build a CLI with a Google Drive integration for a client. They need to connect their account now. So they go to the agent, they talk to the agent conversationally to say, where can I, or how can we connect to our Google Drive? The agent sends them a link for them to go grab a Google token. They grab it, copy, paste it, boom, done. The agent logs into their own account and really walk them through the whole process conversationally too. They can ask it questions if they're confused. They can ask for alternative options, so on and so forth. And really, it can go much further than that. I talked about in my last video how I turned my social media content engine SaaS application into a CLI, right? So I built a front end where me, your clients, we can connect all of our accounts the normal way. We log in through the web interface, connect to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. We can set our brand voices, maybe our colors or the way we like to talk on the front end if we want. But the CLI is for our agents to do the same for us, right? The CLI had inherited all the connections. Now the agent logs into the CLI or let's say for your application, you build a simple auth button the same way kind of Claude Code does it when you authenticate to your account, right? You put the thing in, it says, oh, click this link and sync them together. You click the link, boom. Now you're connected to your front end with the back end with the CLI, sorry. So the CLI is where the agent works. The front end is where you work. And now you can work together in a even more collaborative way. Or I guess you can give your agent more context about your business without wasting tokens, right? That's the biggest thing. So the security argument for MCP, it really only applies if you're building something like the next Zapier or N8N, a platform where thousands of strangers are all going to be sharing the same infrastructure and you need to keep their data completely separate from each other. Now, like I said, that's what a multi-tenant SaaS application is for. So that's kind of why I just do that workaround instead, because personally, I'd rather get my client a custom platform and the AI agent. Like that's just an upsell, like from a business side of things. Anyways, so that's like a real scenario. It's not what most people are actually building though. For client work, custom automations, business deployments, CLI seems to handle everything I need. There is one hard stop for CLI, and it's simple. No terminal, no CLI. If an agent is running inside a browser, a serverless environment somewhere, there's literally no shelf for it to access, well, that's a wall. You can't get around it. That's where MCP was designed to live, and it does that job well. Going back to the analogy, let's say your agent is stuck somewhere with no phone signal at all, no way to make a direct call. Well, the app is better than nothing, right? That's the scenario. That's the actual line. No terminal, MCP makes sense. Terminal available, CLI wins out almost every time. The confusion, it makes sense. MCP became the trending word. So when someone sees an agent doing powerful things from a terminal, they connect it to the most recent thing that they've heard about. But the terminal was doing this before MCP even existed. And for most of what I build, client work, custom integrations, real business automations, it's still the stronger move. Now, if you've got a specific use case you're trying to figure out, drop it in the comments and I'll see if I can provide some insight. Other than that, that's about all I have for today. My name is Nolan. If you like this video, leave a like, comment your feelings below, any questions you might have. If you're looking to learn how to take advantage of AI agents to either make money for yourself or for other people's businesses, or even improve your own business, I've been doing it every single day for over the last year. I have AI agents booking me real appointments, doing my marketing, helping me with every single aspect of my business. And I promise you, you can too. It is not that hard. All right. I'm just a normal guy. And I promise, just join the community. Come tag along. I promise you, you'll pick up some value. Anyways, this has been Nolan. Thanks for watching. Peace.